Flosstube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Coleen, and this is Lockabee Stitches, and this is Flosstube number 25. So this is kind of a bonus Flosstube. I just decided to do a WIP and UFO parade simply because I haven't looked up in a couple of those bins that are holding my UFOs in a while. And plus, like, when we moved, like, stuff kind of got shoved everywhere. So it was kind of nice to, like, pull everything out to get it organized and whatnot. So I thought, oh, what a perfect time to, like, share everything that I've got going now and that I really need to revisit and finish up before moving on to, like, the, 20 other things that I already have kitted up that are calling my name. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. But otherwise, it's a beautiful day here in Texas. Got a lot of things going today. We have to mow the lawn and get some yard work done. We have to run the pups to get their nails trimmed and buffed so they don't claw each other's eyes out. But other than that, and then get some framing and some other stuff done. But busy. So yeah, so the first thing I'm going to share though, before I get started today. So last night, I did have a cross stitch finished. So I'll share it later on Instagram. But I'm just going to share it today because I wanted to possibly at least get the frame started for next time. So at least if I don't have it finished, I can show like the pieces in progress. So last night I finished Resting Beach Phase from Hands On Design. So super fun stitch. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's so cute. And then something that kind of popped in my head for like a framing idea. So we'll see if it comes to fruition. But you know, my ideas, sometimes they take left turns and go in different directions. But I did cut out, so I'll kind of just show it if I can. I cut out a little wooden seagull button. And so I carved that just to sit on her, like the brim of her hat on that left-hand side. So once I get it all finished and sprayed, and attached, I will show it on Instagram later, close up. It's kind of hard to see and hold up at the same time, but here, maybe I can hold them up to like see them a little bit better. Here's a little tiny little seagull. So, but yeah, so that one I'll show later. But yeah, I just want to show that today just to show it. So without further ado, none of these are really in any order, but I'll identify if it's a work in progress or currently, or if it's a UFO or what its status is in my life. But the first one I'll start with, this one is from 𝗙𝗘𝗏𝗏. And it's a temperature calendar, and it was a free, like probably like stitch along that they had from, I think, last year. But they're tiny little houses, and so I'm choosing to do mine similar to the one that they show on Instagram, and I'll post a link below. And with all the projects, I'll post links to like the patterns or like whatever it is I'm talking about. But this is how far I've gotten. I'm only about halfway through March. Yeah, March. But I'm kind of using, so I just made all of my houses. They have little black roofs and black windows. And then I'm kind of either using some of the motifs that they chose, or that they provided, or I charted some of my own. So I'll eventually share all those. But yeah, I don't know if I would have ever done a temperature calendar or thought about it, because usually in Texas it's just, there's 3 levels of hot. But this year we had some really weird weather, so I thought it was like a good way to like document that we actually got snow and ice that was prolonged for days. And even now though, like it's almost halfway through August, and we've only had like maybe 1 or 2 days that we had over 100 degrees. So it's just a fun way, and then, you know, like just to commemorate events, and it's fun, but I just need to find time to pick it back up again. But how I'm documenting it, so I just picked out like an array of different DMC colors that are kind of like I would say a brighter palette or more primary palette. But when my husband was stationed in Korea, there was a store. So when I would go to visit, I would go shopping down in Pyeongtaek. And they have a store there. They have a couple of different really fun stationery stores, but I used to go to Art Box. And yeah, it's a dangerous store. You can spend a lot of money in there. And I did. But they have just all kinds of, I just like their stationery. And so one of the books that I had picked up while I was there, it's like a planner, but in certain areas, like you can yearly plan. So it kind of worked out perfect. It has like all of the days, so I can just like write the temperatures in. And then I can kind of indicate next to it where I want to put a motif for like special days. But yeah, these planners are fun. And then there's like monthly views. Haven't used up all of it, but like monthly views, and then like daily like task lists. But super cute. I can always show tons of different stuff that I couldn't resist. But so cute stationery. But yeah, so that's from 𝗙𝗘𝗏𝗏. So it was their temperature calendar. And so kind of just, like I said, I need to catch up on that one of these days and sit down and do it. But next up, this is also a current work in progress. And these are from 𝗙𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗃 from Etsy. And this is their time window series. So it's a monthly series. And I'm a little bit behind, but this is their PDF downloads. And September should probably be coming out pretty soon, so I need to get caught up. But just patterns, there's like July and August, and this one's super cute. August is cute with a koala, like a watermelon. But I haven't started August yet. I was looking all over for it, and I'm like, oh, I haven't started it yet. But I'll show, I had just finished July, and I still need to frame it. So I have the frame cut out, and the base is all finished. I just need to finish carving the wings. I'm gonna do a bee on top, but different than like the bees that I showed before, and then a little sunflower sit down on the bottom. So they're gonna come out really cute. I just need to, this should be done by Tuesday when I film, so that'll be a finish that I can show. But yeah, so those are from 𝗙𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, super fun. And I still need to go back. I only started in April. So I need to go back and do January, February, March. So that does show I am a little bit behind. So, but I really like them. They're really fun. And then recently I did pick up another monthly series from Little House Needleworks. It's probably older, but I might modify that a little, but that one's cute too. To add to this pile over here that I got. So now we'll switch gears. And the next one, this is a UFO. And I probably started this, I would say somewhere between probably like 2000 and 2004, somewhere in there. Because I know when I was working on it, I remember sitting and stitching when my stepdad was ill. And so I've just never finished it, but it's from the Drawn Thread, and it was Noah's Prayer. And the charm, I'm probably gonna end up having to find something to put in there because the charm is like long gone from the pattern. I looked everywhere yesterday when I was trying to like gather all this stuff up. But this really isn't that far off from being done because the bulk of the animals are all done. But that's how far I got. And then I quit. Yeah, so, and I think this is like a 28 count kind of oatmeal fabric. I'm not even sure what it is. But I just love the colors, and yeah, so one of these days, what I'll probably do with a lot of these is, this was just like in a packet, or I think it was just in a Ziploc bag, is pull out all the flosses, like re-kit it back up, and then somehow come up with a plan of how I'm gonna finish those. But yeah, so sometimes I look and I'm like, I was so close, why did I quit? But so yeah, so the next one, this is a current work in progress, and this one is from 𝗙𝗪𝗔𝗟 Designs, and it's from I got it from their Etsy store. So I originally, I purchased the pattern, it's called Patriotic Garden, and it was just a PDF that I was just gonna stitch. But then once I started looking through her store, she has a whole bunch of really awesome patriotic designs. So I kind of like, it sparked an idea. So I ended up, or I'm going to, I haven't purchased all of them yet, but she has a pattern, it's called 1776, and it's a house, and I think it has like a fence and a gate and some other patriotic motifs. So I'm gonna do is stack a whole bunch of her patterns on top of each other to make it one long design. So 1776 will go on top, and then I'm going to use the words, she has words charted out with some different patriotic motifs. So I'm gonna do We the People, One Nation, Old Glory, 4th of July, and then Let Freedom Ring, and on the bottom will be the garden. So it'll kind of be like the house and the garden, and then all the other stuff in between. But this is how far I am, and I'm doing it on 28 count. I'm using one thread over one. And I'm using what's called for like gentle art and maybe weeks, or it might be all gentle art. I'll have to look back. But so I'm almost done. I just got to fill in a little bit more of the brown on the birds down here, and a couple more flowers. And then this line right here repeats in reverse above Let Freedom Ring. But this was my informal cross-stitch camp project. So I'm really not doing too bad as far as like, I wanted to get one section done each month. So I probably won't get that finished, but if I can get through this and get the third one started, I'll be happy. So, but yeah, so I think once this gets done, I'm really gonna like it. And I happened to be stitching on this when I was in the airport in Charlotte, and a lady came up and sat next to me because she wanted to see what I was doing. So it was funny because she said, it's just so, like she was doing it over one, it's so small. So I was explaining to her why I was making it so small. And she was like, well, I will imagine we'll see this on Antiques Roadshow in about 200 years. And I was like, maybe, you never know. So yeah, you always never know what's going to happen to your stitching, like, yeah, in 100 years or whatever. But it was just nice that she was there, like, appreciating what I was doing. So yeah, so that's from 𝗙𝗪𝗏𝗧 Designs. And again, I think I already said, I'll make sure I link everything below to where I, like, found the patterns or whatever. So next, oh, this is a sad UFO. So I started this when my husband and I got married. And we were just married 11 years ago on July 24th. So this is from Lavender and Lace, and it's probably United in Marriage. And I'm not sure why I must have lost the pattern, and I bought a new pattern and then found it, because I have two of the pattern, but probably I needed it because the old one is getting a little tattered. But actually I got pretty far, and then unlike my marriage that has survived, this didn't progress, but that's how far I got. So I have the head and the girl. And looking back at this, I'm not sure why. I don't know, one day I just like quit. But, and I think it was because I didn't like how the white was showing up, that it wasn't showing up that well on here. But the more I kept looking at it, I was like, I surely hope that this all lines up. I'm not really sure why I stitched their head over here without filling in some of their markers. I probably stitched different back then, but that's I started this 10 years ago, and then that's it. So, I'm not really sure about this one, if it'll get resurrected or not, or maybe if I'll rehome it. I don't know yet. But it would be nice. I keep thinking, oh, if I finished it, I know where I would hang it. But yeah, this is definitely a sad UFO. I don't know. And it really wasn't even, I don't know. It was kind of like a whim that I ended up like deciding to stitch that anyway as a pattern. But I did, and there it is. So next, this one's a fun one. And I really need to pick this back up. I think it's just time. Like, I'm sure I started this when we lived in San Antonio, and then it got interrupted. A lot of things obviously do when you're military moving. Things get interrupted all the time. But I did start this when we were living in San Antonio, and then we moved to Hawaii. So I'm sure it just got packed up, and then I just didn't think about it anymore. But it was the freebies from Brooks Books. It was her Advent series. And so there was, I think, 24 or 25 patterns. They're so cute, and I really need to pick this back up, because I got so far. But what I ended up doing, so I charted my own words, so to make it into an Advent calendar. So I charted Merry Christmas, and kind of chose like picked out some of the colors that she uses in her patterns. And then between each row of animals, I'm like stitching my own row of like little snowflakes, and I'm using some metallic threads, so it's kind of shiny. And like the same thing with the border, I'm doing like a wrapped back stitch, so the border around each animal is kind of raised. But I got a good start, and it's gonna be gorgeous when it gets done. And it's on like an over dyed, like there's like teals and pinks and blues in the fabric. But I hope maybe like Christmas, maybe around Christmas when I get more into like Christmas stitching. And then I added like on some of her patterns, I like subbed out some beads, and then added like, I don't know if you can kind of see the little snowflake buttons. So, but yeah, these were such fun patterns, and I really love Brooks Book stuff, and she's a wonderful person too. So, I need to, like I said, maybe around Christmas I'll pick this one back up, but because of course my love of Advent calendars. I'm not sure why I neglected this, but there it is. So there we go. So there's like 4 or 5, not doing too bad. Like I said, I was surprised when I only had 19, so I can't really complain. So the next one, this is another UFO. So this one, I'm gonna do 2 together. Well, 2 next to each other, because I bought both of these patterns in, I would say, 1998, maybe 99. I went on vacation with some friends, and at the time, like, and I'm still not, I don't mind the beach. Like, as I've gotten older, like, but when I was younger, I didn't care about like laying out in the sun or going to the beach. It wasn't my thing. So there was like a little store nearby, and I happened to find 2 Noah's Ark cross-stitch kits. So I bought them. And the first one is All Things Noah from Debbie Mom. And so that's the first one. And I even like sorted all the floss. It's all so nice and neat together. And then this is how far I got. And probably I was just stitching on vacation. Then when I came home from vacation, I just like put it away. Look, the needle's even still in it. But that's how far I got. So not very far, but it's really not that big of a pattern. So the border, I was probably actually doing borders back then. So that's the bulk of that is all done. So I really don't think if I just wish, looking back at it, they don't give you, I know it was meant to be on the picture like a wall hang, but they didn't give much extra fabric. So I'm not sure like how I'll finish this one out, but so that's one Ark UFO. And then the other one that I remember buying on this trip was this one. And this kit has 2 different problems. And I remember this. It's funny, like when you pull stuff out, how it jogs your memory. But as soon as I pulled this one, I was like, oh, I know why I dropped this one. So the first problem is I remember when somehow, well, the second problem is I remember somebody spilled coffee on it. And at the time where I was at, I didn't have a chance to like wash it out. And then, like I said, it got stuck back in the bag. So I'm going to try some of like Grandma's spot remover to see if I can get the stains out. Those really don't matter down there, but there's a couple here in the middle. But I know that there's an error in here somewhere because I remember working on it and something wasn't lining up. So I got mad and I just shoved it back in the thing. So I'll probably, I'm better about being able to fudge around a mistake now. So this one is more likely to like get finished at some point, like now then versus way back then. But yeah, so these are at least 20-year-old UFOs. That's pretty sad, but it's true. But it would be kind of nice. This one though, if you can see though, I have a lot to go. There's a lot of stitching on this one, a lot of back stitching. So, but maybe someday, we'll never know. Because there's others right behind it. So let's switch gears. So this one is a current work in progress that I started. And I kind of forgot about it. Only because I finished the top and that I don't have with me right now. But it's hands-on design woof. So I have the top finished, and like I chose to swap out the blue square I had a piece of green felt to make it look more like grass. But I still need to do the side, and I'm doing it on like an older piece of, and I'll have to remember what the name of the fabric is, but it kind of has the lines running through it. I think is it 𝗙𝗡𝗙𝗃 maybe? But yeah, so I just have the side piece to do, but I honestly forgot that I was working on this. But I did buy the buttons, so I bought the pins. I'm gonna do it as a pin cushion when I finish it out. But I have like the little dog and the heart and the bone. And then I originally, this was before we got JAS, I bought the letter SAM. So now I'm gonna need to get back on their site and buy JAS for JAS. So, but yeah, so this one, I really just need to finish like the side. So, but that's a good amount of stitching, but I'll get it done. But yeah, so it's all kitted up, ready for me. I just totally forgot that. That was a work in progress. I'm not even sure how I did that, but I did. So, but that's a current work in progress. And then, so the next up, this is a UFO. I'm gonna say, this might be from the late 90s too. It's been a while. I probably should have wrote things down before, but I didn't. But this was a kit. It was a Dimensions. Let me look really quick. Yeah, it was the gold collection, Promises Kept. And I'll even put up a picture of what it's supposed to look like finished because I don't have the bag that it came in before. But if you see, like, I quit and I had so much done. So I really need to, I should go ahead and wash and press this and then like start. But there's really not that much left to go. Like, but I can tell I definitely was not as neat of a stitcher. I dragged a lot on the back. But yeah, so there's really not that much. This would be a beautiful one to finish and put like a really nice frame on, like frame it with a custom frame. But the problem is here's the other problem. What was I thinking in 1998? I don't know, but that's a mess. So looking at that, I don't know if I have the patience. Maybe one night while I'm sitting down watching TV or something, I'll pull the thread apart, or I might just start matching the threads to my DMC thread guide and going with what's close. I'm not sure yet, but this was definitely one that I need to put back in the rotation because it's so close to being done. And like I said, there's a couple of those like in here that I'm like, why did I quit? I don't know. So, and back then it was different though. Like I would say like in the late 90s, early 2000s is when I was a flight attendant. So I still stitched, but it probably just got lost in the mix. Who knows? But anyway, so next up, this is a current work in progress, although I have not put any stitches in it lately, but I need to because I need to start, I got to start pulling my projects for Christmas stitching. I have gifts that I want to make, and then just stuff for myself, like put some stitches in some of these advent calendars or the Christmas ones. But this was from 𝗙𝗡𝗏𝗏, and it's the, I don't remember the name, but I'll post it below. But it's like a, I think it's called New Year's Sampler. But from 𝗙𝗡𝗏𝗏, and I just love it. So I'm doing these in the same colors, or similar to the same colors as the painted distaff, the one that I showed a couple weeks ago, and actually it's right here. So I'm gonna do like the same kind of colors as, this was also from 𝗙𝗡𝗏𝗏, painted distaff. So the only difference is in this one, it's like I chose to do the Russian alphabet. I took Russian in college, so I just decided that's what I wanted to do. But so it's the same exact colors except for color palette, but I added the blue for the letters. So that's how far I got, and I'm almost, I think I have 2 pages almost done on this, but it's just gorgeous. I love their patterns. They have so many things on their website that I Google over, but you know, it's always those so little time, so much stitching. But I did see, we were driving home yesterday from running errands, and the billboard next to our house said both lotto jackpots are up to over 200 million. So hey, maybe it's a good time to play, right? Spread the wealth. But yeah, so I need to pick this one up probably closer to Christmas again. But yeah, they have such beautiful patterns. But next, this is also a current work in progress, and I'm a little bit, this is a little disorganized, but I really don't have that much left to go. That's just my, what do you call it, my working copy. But this is from the Fuzzy Fox from Etsy, but it's her Pretty Little Produce. So this one I really don't have much left to go. Maybe, I don't know, 10 or 12 more fruits or vegetables. But this one's so cute. And so this one I'm not stitching. There's a border and then the words Pretty Little Produce down on the bottom. But I'm not going to stitch those. I'm going to instead leave the border off, and I'm going to carve a frame. I want to carve the frame so it's similar to like a, kind of like a produce sign you would see like in a old-fashioned store or something. So on the bottom, I want it to say Farm Fresh Produce. But this one is going to be for my kitchen. So yeah, I don't have much farther to go. But the last time I left off, which probably was about 4 weeks ago that I showed this. And I haven't picked it up since. So like I said, I've been bad about starting new things and not concentrating on what was up there or what I already had going. So there's a couple of these that I've lost. I have to dig. I have to go digging through my patterns. I can't find the pattern for this, but it's somewhere. I know I've seen it recently, but this is from Bent Creek, and it was the Arc Mantle. So that one I've only probably like not even half. There's still a lot left to go on that one, but I had a good start. But I need to get this one done. I really love Bent Creek's patterns. But yeah, somewhere, and actually this is one that I actually did on the fabric that it called for. But I have to find the pattern. Otherwise I might end up having to buy it again. Because I really would like to finish it, obviously, for my love of arcs and whatever. But yeah, I can't even find the envelope that the, like where the threads are for it. So I'm pretty sure I've seen it. It probably just got mixed in with something when we moved or whatever. But so yeah, so that's a UFO probably from about 10 years ago. That's sad. And this is a UFO from probably 2000, probably like around 2010 or so. And I saw it online, I saw the pattern, and my intention was I was gonna like kind of like rechart it, buy it, and then rechart it for into a cross stitch pattern. But when I got it, it would take a lot of work, so it's just a stamped cross stitch. But it was from Jane Snead, and it's called the Clock of Life. And I got it about half done. I really just have the lettering and the rest of the border. But I know like stamped cross stitch probably seems weird when you're a counted cross stitcher, but you know, like I really like the look, and I loved like that image of the man holding the sickle and the clock, and then just the wording. So I actually was stitching this. I remember stitching this with my friend at nighttime, and when I was in the Army and we were out in the field, I took cross stitching to the field. I know probably I would have got caught by anybody, but I would do it at night. That's when my eyes were better. I would do it at nighttime while I was in my bunk before I went to bed. So one of these days I'll pick that back up. But yeah, I don't mind doing stuff like that, like embroidery, doing different things other than counted cross stitch. So I just wanted to show that one, but I was kind of bummed when I pulled it down because I'm like, it really wouldn't take that much to get that one done either. But there it is. And so I think I've talked about it in the past before. I really love to do any kind of needlework, but I really like hardinger, pulled thread, those kind of things. And I'm not sure why, like lately I haven't done very much of it. But next week I'm gonna do a finishes parade. And when I was at home, I took pictures of like a lot of different things that I've done in the past. So I used to do a lot of hardinger patterns, and then some of I gave away as gifts and stuff like that. But this one, so one of my favorites, I really love Cross and Patch, and Emy Bishop. I have many of her books in my stash, just waiting for their turn. But this one I'm going to show in two patterns. So this is the pattern that I'm going to do, that I'm going to show. I'm doing the one on the cover, and it says "Be Thankful." So I made some changes. I dropped everything down a little bit because I wanted to personalize it and put our last name in. But I wasn't super fond of the apples on top. So I kind of did a like trial run, and I charted my own. So on the top, I'm going to replace the apples with these pumpkins that I charted. And so that's my own design. So I used like a basic hardinger pattern from somewhere else. So I didn't make that up. But the stuff around it, I did. So I'm going to take this like as my like trial run sample, and then on this one, so this is the fabric. It's kind of like a over-dyed gold color. But that's how far I got. And so there's like the start, that dark brown is the start of the L, and it'll say Lockabee. And then I added like a little acorn charm. So then above there it'll say "Be Thankful," and then I'll add the pumpkins. And I might have to adjust the colors a little bit. But I love doing hardinger. And I wish I had more time to just devote to different types of craft, whether it be like hardinger, embroidery. But I just love doing that kind of stuff too. But yeah, someday I'll show, like, there's so many patterns from Emy Bishop that I have in my stash that I would love to get to someday. And there's a couple already kitted up that are just sitting up in the cupboard. But yeah, I just want to show that this is another thing that I like to do. And this is from when I lived in Hawaii, I started this. So this is only a UFO from probably, I would say like 2017. So I had made a goal. I was like, I'm going to stitch this and finish it. Like it was going to be my 2017 project. I don't know what happened. I really couldn't tell you. But this is the pattern. It's 𝗨𝗟 from Stoney Creek. And I've always loved this, and I'm not sure how I say Stuart, is it Moskowitz or Moskovich? I love his artwork. So it was cool to see, and I think Fish City is another one that Stoney Creek charted of theirs. And I probably never stitched that, but it's still so cute. But yeah, so this was the pattern that I was gonna do. And actually, I have gotten pretty far. So I think I have one page, like one corner. Yeah, it's one page. but that's how far I got. And I love the colors. It's just so, it's going to be so cute. And you can see I started to get the little dolphin or the whale jumping out of the water. But that's as far as I got. And I'm not sure, like I said, what happened. But I would really like to get this back in the rotation because that would be like a magnificent piece to hang up on my art wall. But it just takes a lot of time and a lot of patience because it's a lot of symbol changes and a lot of colors. I don't know if you've ever seen this pattern, but it's not hard, but you just have to be, it's probably like, I've never stitched a like heaven and earth design, but it's probably similar. But I probably also need to learn to, I've never really figured out how to park. I've never done something like this to like, you know, like park threads to like use where you see all those ones where they're just kind of cascading down. I get confused by that. But I probably need to pick up, like find somebody that does that to have them explain how they do it. So I think it would probably make that a lot easier than having to like tie off each color every time or and then start over. So, but yeah, so Noah's sub is patiently waiting. So yeah, see, not too bad. We only got 3 more from the cupboard. So this one, so I probably should have showed the companion, but I've stitched 𝗙𝗡𝗞𝗦 from, this is from Ink Circles. And so I've already stitched the girl, she's done, and this is Beau Leggy. And this was actually, I put this in for this year. It was supposed to get back into the works in progress rotation, and it never did. But it wouldn't take that long because I'm doing this on, I think this is 18 count over 2. So it's like 9 count with 4 strands. With 4 strands of DMC, but there's his legs and the cactus below him. But yeah, so if you can see, there's really not that much left that I need to, but I already have the girl done. And my plan was, I saw on Pinterest, somebody had done these and then used bandana material to make them into pillows and put jean material on the back, but like actually had like a jean pocket on the back. They're super cute. So when I saw those, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make those. And I stitched the girl really fast and then started the boy, and train left the station. I wasn't on it. So it's just been waiting. So, but I need to, like I said, at the beginning of the year, I took 4 of these, like kind of WIPs, like neglected WIPs and UFOs, and had said I was gonna put them into the rotation, but like, I need to stay off Instagram because everything makes me be like, oh, I want to stitch that. I want to stitch that. Oh, look at how they did that. So I need to like focus and get better about this. So this was another, what should have been a current work in progress. And I really need to pick this one up in like the near future since Halloween is coming very quickly. But this was from the Primitive Hare, and I got this off of Etsy. It's the Spooky Countdown. So it's the Halloween Advent. And this is just a PDF from the Primitive Hare. And but this is how far I got. And everything, so basically I just need to go through and fill in all the rest of the box because the top is done and then the bottom is done, and then I just started kind of hopping around. So I just have like one more row to outline and then just start filling in. So I'll be excited to get this one back in the rotation. Like I said before, not that much left to go. Just another one of those examples of I'm not sure why I quit it in the first place or how it got pushed to the wayside. But yeah, in the future, I just need to be better about starting and finishing. And I have been good this year, so this is probably a good time to start. Maybe like once every 3 or 4 months, like take one project instead of looking at like the bulk of all these projects and thinking, oh, 19 things. But maybe like kind of like the summer boot camp, just taking 3 months and focus on one. So I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so there's 2 more left to go. I'll do this one next. This is actually a current work in progress. This is the Owl Forest Stitch Along Alice. And let me move my needle minder out of the way here. So it's very wrinkly, sorry. It's kind of gotten pushed to the wayside too, but I need to catch up. So I think I'm like 3 parts behind. But for me, this, like, if I concentrate on each little motive, it goes really fast. But this is a really cute pattern. Sorry if I didn't say, from Owl Forest. But yeah, I think there's a new part coming out this week. So maybe this week I'll dedicate a night and see how much I can get done. Maybe tonight. But that's a really cute, I really like that. And they also have one from last year. Maybe the year before, it was Wizard of Oz. So I've already downloaded that. I think it would be fun. I have a couple of different I've done the Wizard of Oz from Brooks Books, but I've also bought her Alice in Wonderland patterns. So I'd like to have like a little area like on a wall that has like Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland. So yeah, not sure when I'm gonna get to that one either, but I have purchased all the patterns for the Brooks Books Alice in Wonderland. So we'll see. So last but not least, but actually it is the least because it's the saddest UFO up in my cupboard. And I started this way back when I was in college. So that would have been somewhere between 1990 and 1995. And I remember working on this. I used to, in the summertime during school, used to stay at my dad's house, and I used to work at this restaurant and yacht club in the summer waitressing. And I can remember at nighttime working on this. And just over the years, like once in a while, I'll pick it up and put a few stitches in it, and then it goes right back in the bag where it doesn't see the light of day for years. But I am really dedicated. I want to get this done because it's been on such a journey. Like this piece has moved from like college to home, to like moving, to joining the army, being a flight attendant. It's gone everywhere. So I would only do it justice by finishing it. But anyways, it's from, I don't even have the book anymore. I actually, at some point, just ripped the pattern right out of the book. But it was from I believe one of the Vanessa Ann books. But I'm going to look it up and I'll try and post it down to the bottom exactly which book it came from. But it's called Rainbow in the Sky. And this is how far that I've gotten. And if you can see way back in the day, like I spent an awful lot of time stitching that triple border. So maybe that's a good thing that I started it back then, because if it was today, I probably would never have stitched that border and saved myself a lot of time. But, you know, like honestly, if I just took it one screw at a time, probably in about, 2 or 3 months, I could have this one done if I did one a week. So, like I said, if anybody wants to share their tips for how they do their rotations, like I said, this year I've been doing pretty good on the things that I've started and finished this year. So I think I'm headed in the right direction. But I was just wondering like how people like tackle their UFO pile that are actually making an attempt to tackle it. And that's what I would like to do. I would like to do all these projects justice, all 19 of them, to like finish it up. But anyway, so yeah, so that's it for the WIP and UFO Parade. So hope you enjoyed kind of going down a little bit of my own memory lane. Like I said, it was kind of funny when I pull stuff out, especially the one that had coffee stains. Like I instantly am transported back to that moment in time when that happened. And non-stitchers don't understand, like getting something spilled on your stitching. Like I remember being mad, but I didn't say anything. But yeah, but just stuff like that. They all kind of just each bring back their own memories. And so, but anyway, I hope that you enjoyed it. So yeah, so I'm going to try, today is Sunday/Monday because I had to retape the end of this video. But I'm hoping to still put out something tomorrow on Tuesday, even if it's just like a little short blurb, kind of give some like updates. But other than that, I'm going to try and get back on my regular every Tuesday schedule so that people know, like, it can be predictable when it's going to have a new video. So anyway, I hope you're having a great week and happy stitching. Bye.